In this video, I'm going to be revealing a secret agency niche, a niche that hasn't really been talked about for several years. And one of the best things about this niche is it has amazing retention. Almost every client I ever closed in this niche was for 3 months, 3-month contracts. Number two, the B2B costs are very cheap. To get meetings on Facebook and TikTok, it's extremely cheap and very consistent. Number three, it is one of the easiest niches to get leads for, meaning to deliver results for your clients. It's so easy and the offer is so universal, you can run it on any platform, meaning Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. If in your agency right now, you're struggling to land appointments, you're struggling to get your client results, and you're struggling to retain, it might be your fault, or there's a very good possibility it could be your niche as well. In this video, I'm going to present a solution to you. This is not about niche switching. This is about going to a proven niche that multiple seven-figure agencies have been built in and has been one of the staples. You have your big agencies in medical, you have your big agencies in roofing, and you have your big agencies in this niche. The reason nobody talks about it anymore is it only really was popular a few years ago, 3 to 5 years ago when I was building my agency. There used to be a lot of people in it. A lot of people built seven-figure agencies, and those people are still around, but they don't have YouTube channels. They don't have Discord groups. They're not talking about it. Why would they? It would make no sense. But much like Julian Assange, I like to reveal the secrets of the government. So I'm going to, in this video, show you everything about this niche. I'm going to show you how to build the B2B ads, how to build the B2C ads. I'm going to show you how to close. I'm going to show you how to price yourself. I'm going to give you my pitch deck, my contracts, every single little detail about building an agency in this niche. I'm going to hand deliver to you on a silver platter. So let's get into it. The best niche out there right now is mortgage. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you everything A to Z about how I built a 7-figure mortgage agency and how you can do it yourself. I'm going to show you the B2C ads. I'm going to show you the B2B ads. We're going to do a full build out, everything but pixel installation, because I can only install the pixel so many times in front of you guys, but I'll show you everything else. And on top of that, I'm also going to show you updated information on the mortgage niche that has come out since I ran my agency, aka a lot of the stuff that is now you can do on TikTok and get even cheaper leads for your clients and for yourself. So this is going to show you how to take advantage of really one of the most lucrative niches out there right now that nobody's talking about, because everybody thinks, oh, XYZ niche is so much better. I need to, go in another med spa agency. Like everybody thinks they need to go into the same niches. So let's jump right into it. So why mortgage is the best niche right now and how I grew my 7-figure agency primarily in the mortgage niche. So here's the pros of mortgage, because it does have pros and cons. So we're going to go through them so you guys are aware. Number one, they're buyers. Mortgage brokers are buyers. They have to buy leads most of the time. Outside of their relationships with real estate agents, the only way they get more business is if they buy leads. So they're going to buy from someone. Make sure it's you. That's your only job. Your job isn't to convince them that they need lead gen. Your job is to convince them that you are the person for their lead gen. And a lot of these mortgage brokers, either for their own business or they work for a larger business that has a dedicated marketing budget. So it's not a broke niche. They have money and they have to spend it. Number two, a lot of the times it's not even their own money. They have company money or a dedicated marketing budget that has to be spent for the quarter or for the year. So they basically have this pile of money that they have to spend, and they have to spend it on marketing, and you have to come by and say, hey, spend that on me. They are easy to close once you learn the lingo. So mortgage brokers are fairly easy to close. The biggest gap you're going to come across when you start talking to mortgage brokers is the lingo they use. They're going to talk about new home loans. I don't even remember some of the lingo. I need a refresher on it, honestly. But you're going to come across mortgage brokers using all sorts of language that you aren't familiar with. Learning that language, just like any niche, is the first little hurdle that you need to get over. But once you get that down and you can talk the talk with them, which will happen in about a day or two of meetings with them, you will be able to close them like crazy. Number 4, B2B costs are low. Running ads in this niche to acquire clients is always been low. It's low now, and it's actually lower than it's ever been because there's a lot less people in this niche now than there used to be. All the fly-by-night people that thought mortgage was their niche have since gone back to working at Chipotle. So it's a lot easier now, and the meeting cost is low as long as you have good creatives that don't suck. B2C costs are always low. Your cost to generate leads for these clients are tremendously low. A new home buyer lead can cost a few dollars depending on what credit score you're filtering for and what state you're advertising in. Except for refi. There's a type of lead in mortgage called refinance that generally isn't very low. Number 6, they have good retention. Once you dial it in a little bit, you can get amazing retention out of these mortgage broker clients. So definitely consider it as a niche because of that. So cons of the mortgage niche, because there are some. Every niche has some cons. Generally, for their B2C leads, there is a 3-month sales cycle. So from point of lead generated to point of the mortgage broker actually collecting money on the deal, a lot of the times there's 3 months between those two things occurring, with the exception of refi leads and with the exception of veteran leads. Sometimes veteran leads, they can collect the money on them faster, which is why I'm going to recommend you generate them veteran leads here in a minute. If you don't know what veteran leads are, you're going to learn. Number 2, they don't call their leads. Like every niche, they don't call their leads. This is not a mortgage specific problem, but they're nothing special in this regard. Like every other niche, you have to yell at them, you have to call their mother, you have to call their children, and tell them that they need to be calling their leads. They won't do it. You have to tell them to do it. That's called running an agency. Refinance leads can get very expensive depending on the state. Some of these guys want refinance. I generally push them away from it. It's hard to grow an agency that's built around generating them refinance leads because the prices vary so much. Sometimes it takes a while to get marketing budget and ads approved by the company. So like I mentioned earlier, one of the pros of the mortgage niche is their company, whatever company they work under, will fund their marketing budget for them, which is nice. The only problem with this is sometimes there's paperwork in between you and getting marketing budget approved. So sometimes you have to fill out the paperwork, your company information, you have to submit it. Sometimes it takes a week, sometimes it takes 2 weeks. It can slow down sales, but a lot of those end up closing eventually. You just have to wait. It's just a waiting game. So it's not the worst thing in the world. So overview of some important points before you go into this niche. And by the way, if you guys are getting bored and you're like, hey, I don't want the slides, I just want to see you do the build outs, Chipotle is hiring. So only close clients who are willing to run ads at a statewide level. This applies to the mortgage niche. This applies to legal niches. Only close clients who are willing to run for all of Minnesota, all of Ohio, all of Florida, whatever it happens to be. If they're like, I only want these 3 zip codes and I don't want you to target anywhere else. You can do it, but it's going to be a problem for your agency if you build it like that long term because prices shoot up fast when you're hitting local for mortgage. You want to hit statewide. Pretty much all of them can work statewide. If they tell you otherwise, maybe not the best client. Every client I closed from my agency was statewide, and it was the best decision I ever made. There are 3 types of leads to sell. So let me educate you on the different types of leads. You have new home buyer, you have veteran, and you have refinance. New home buyer are cheap and low intent and take a while to collect money on. Veteran are cheap, high intent, and they can collect money on them faster. Refi are expensive, very, very high intent, and they can collect money on them very quickly, but price varies too much. I generally recommend either do a volume play and generate your clients a ton of new home buyer leads, or generate the veteran leads, which are a little bit more expensive, but your client can turn them into money much faster. Number 3, Selling clients on 3 months contracts is massively advantageous. If you remember, the sales cycle for a mortgage broker is 3 months. From the time you generate them a lead till the time they close them, it's going to take 3 months for them to collect money on that. So it becomes important to pre-frame your service as, hey, this is a 3-month turnaround, bare minimum 3-month turnaround. We do contracts for 3 months, so that way we fill up your pipeline for 3 months. You start closing deals, and it just rolls into each other. If you don't do 3-month contracts, you don't have to. Sometimes you just have to make sure that at the end of the month, you keep that frame when you rebill. Be like, hey, remember, this is a 3-month thing. You're not even supposed to be collecting money right now, because you will get pushback, and you will get less pushback if you close them on 3-month contracts. Your first few clients, though, close on 1 month, get those closes under your belt, learn the language, then start doing 3-month contracts. How should you price your services? This is an important one. I'm giving you guys everything. I had to think back. How did I structure everything in my mortgage agency? So I'm sharing all of it with you guys. Anything below 3K total is easy to sell. When I say total, I mean ad spend plus retainer. If you keep it below that 3K mark, it's an easy sell. Anything above the 3K mark is like, like you gotta maybe be a better salesperson. Which if you're really good at sales, go right ahead, close them at 4K, 5K. Not gonna stop you from doing that. So the usual combination for me was 1,500 retainer plus like 700 to 1,000 ad spend. And I would lean more on the 1,000 ad spend side, just because I personally like to get my clients really good results. And the best way to get clients better results is to bill them more for ad spend so that they close more deals. It's very simple. You can discount for 3-month contracts. Yeah, and if they sign up for 3 months, you can give them discounts. You can structure your agency so that if they sign up for 3 months up front, you give them discounts. If you are better at sales, yeah, you can sell for more retainer and more ad spend, whatever you want to do. Best offer for B2B. So the best offer for B2B right now, if you want to run ads to acquire clients, is 10 guaranteed loan applications. So part of the process of a mortgage broker closing a B2C lead is what's called a loan application. It's basically a sale for them. 10 guaranteed is a really good offer. Important disclaimer for 10 guaranteed is when you get them on the phone, you have to tell them that's over 3 months, which means you're only going to get 2 to 3 loan applications any individual month. And also you have to put disclaimers in your contract that they only meet this guarantee if they dial, each lead 6 times in the first 48 hours. You have to put stuff in there to make sure they're actually doing the follow-up, because if they don't do the follow-up, how can you guarantee them loan applications? If you don't know what a loan application is, it doesn't matter. Don't worry so much about the language. You can Google these things later, but just know 10 guaranteed loan applications is one of the best offers you can run. You can also do lead guarantees. You can do lead guarantees, especially if you make it sound fancy. If you're like, hey, we have a brand new TikTok program. We have a call center that calls all your leads for you. We're guaranteeing, 70 new home buyer leads per month or something like that. You can do lead gen guarantees. You just have to make it sound fancy. Okay. This is an important aspect that a lot of people skip, and you can also skip it for your first couple clients. But long term, in mortgage, you want to have a call center. There's really no way around this. You want to have a call center where you have VAs that dial these leads and transfer them to your mortgage broker clients, or schedule them in on your mortgage broker clients' calendars. The software I recommend to set up a call center is called Call Tools. You can click the link. I'm going to put these slides in the description below, along with other extremely valuable free information. But Call Tools is the best one if you're setting up a call center. Hire from the Philippines, no accent. You need to make sure the people have no accent that you hire. You can set up a really efficient call center. One caller can manage like 15 to 20 mortgage clients. So that is important as well, because ultimately, to get your clients the best results, they cannot be relied upon to call the leads. It's just how it works. Sales resources. I am not a salesperson. I am an ads guy. So occasionally I get on video and I film for you guys. That being said, there is in this slide deck, you will find the exact pitch deck that I use to close mortgage clients, as well as a contract as well that you can modify. You can make it a 3-month contract, whatever you want to do. Those resources, again, are going to be in the description below. You'll be able to access them through these slides. I'm not going to go into how to pitch. It's basically everything we just talked about put into Google Slides, so you can get on a Zoom with the prospects and close them. So let's talk about B2B first. What we're going to do right now is we're going to go into a B2B build out, and then we'll go into a B2C build out. So B2B, the best platforms for B2B are Facebook and TikTok, probably TikTok. I haven't personally run TikTok B2B in mortgage, but I can pretty much guarantee that it works because it's really easy to generate B2B leads on TikTok, and mortgage, again, are buyers. So KPI for your B2B cost. Anything below 200 is okay per meeting, by the way. Anything below $200 per meeting is okay. Anything below 150 is good. Anything below 100 is excellent. Anything below 50 is amazing. You're crushing it. Continue to do whatever you're doing. But you can be very back in the day, meetings used to cost like 150 in mortgage. It was more competitive. That's really not the case now. You can probably get meetings from like $40 to $80 depending on the month. But even back when it cost 150, I was very profitable. Profitable on the front end close, even more profitable on retention of the client. So keep those numbers in mind. So let's go into a full B2B build out on Facebook. I'm going to kind of face away from the camera here, and we're going to go onto the Facebook ads platform. So let's create a new campaign, leads, mortgage, example, website. Let's just choose a random conversion event, complete registration. Dynamic creative on. Daily budget, $80. Let's say the average mortgage lead across, all these pricing ranges comes out to like about 80 for the average lead on the average account for the average person's creatives. So you always want to set the daily budget to be able to get at least one meeting per day, one conversion per day. Location, United States. I don't really mess with Canada and mortgage. They don't have veteran leads like we do. So as far as your targeting, you're going to have 4 different types. You're going to have a custom audience, which is a massive list of phone numbers and emails that you upload. If you don't know how to do that, I'm going to show you real quick. So to create a custom audience, it's very simple. Create audience, custom audience, customer list, next. No, it doesn't have a value. I like to paste them in. I like to just take the phone numbers and paste them all in. They actually do not have to be comma separated. You can just take them from an Excel sheet and paste them in. I upload phone numbers. I save the audience. So I'll go through this and I'll hit save. Then what I'll do is I'll click on the audience and I'll hit edit, add customers, paste comma separated values, and then I'll add the emails to the same list. It's important to make sure your phone numbers and emails are to the same list, but they must be uploaded separately to the same list. So we already have a test list here. We're going to use this for our build out example. Where's our custom list? Here we go. Test list. So we're going to name this ad set custom audience. $80, test list, fantastic. 18 to 65. Probably want to raise that a little bit. And manual placements, Facebook and Instagram, news feeds only. That's always extremely important. Let's make sure those are selected. Facebook and Instagram newsfeed, perfect. Attribution setting, 1 day click. That's the highest intent attribution setting. There is languages, English, unless if you're targeting Spanish speaking mortgage, which is a sub niche, which you can crush in. And let me see if there's anything else that needs done. Named it right daily budget, custom list, age 20 to 65. I do like 24 to 65. Genders, all genders, leave that open. You can change that in the future if you notice conversions are coming mainly from one gender. Ads. So for these ads, what you're going to do is 5 images, 3 body copy, and 3 headlines. So let's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 4, you will have 3 primary text. I'm not going to write B2B ads for you guys on camera. You can figure that out yourself. You also want 3 headlines. This is the 5-3-3 method. 5 images or videos, 3 body copy, 3 headlines. It's pretty simple. For the landing page for B2B, and again, this is shared. This is shared in the slides in the description. You will use a landing page like this. So, but what this is it's a survey lander. So it asks them a few random questions about their experience as a mortgage broker, you know, how many pre-approvals they're doing every month, blah, blah, blah. And it finishes with name, phone number, email. These are really effective in mortgage. You don't really need anything fancier than this. You can embed this at the top of a page with testimonials below. It doesn't necessarily help it though. Okay, so 5 images, 3 body copy, 3 headlines. I'm not going to custom write B2B ads for you guys right now. You can watch my other trainings for info on that. So, you know, pixel installation, we're not going to do right now. That's just. So custom audience, that's ad set 1, duplicate it. Custom audience, 1%. This is a 1% lookalike of a custom audience. If you don't know how to do that, what you do is test list, create a lookalike audience, 1%. Make sure United States is selected, hit create audience. We already have a 1% right here created. Everything else remains the same, guys. Everything else stays exactly the same. We're not really going to change anything else. We'd hit publish on that, leave the same creatives. Okay, so that's 2 of our ad sets. We have 2 more to make. These are going to be interest-based ad sets. Duplicate our custom list one. Let me see the naming I used here so we can keep it the same. Interest narrow plus multiple broad. First step, delete your custom list. Do not forget to do that. People forget to do that all the time. It's a massive mistake. Then what you're going to do is go to detailed targeting, and you're going to put in all of the interest that I made for you. You can literally find them on these slides. And the ad set name correlates with the name at the top here. So interest narrow plus one broad, interest narrow plus multiple broad. I'm not going to go through and build this in front of you guys. I can't even copy and paste from here, so it would take forever. You get the point, though. You're going to have to go through and find each individual interest. Some of them won't always exist. This is important, guys. Interests change over time. Sometimes interests exist in one ad account and don't exist in another. Sometimes interests exist for a while and they stop existing. It's just how it is. There's nothing you can do about that. Just use logic. If one interest isn't there, choose all the others. It's not rocket science. Interest narrow plus multiple broad. Oh, wait. One broad was the name of the other. Yeah, there we go. So, and then I would go down here and of course change the interest to whatever I have on the slides here to match it. So we have 4 ad sets: one custom audience, two interest based, and then 1% of the custom audience. There is one more that you can make if you want. You can make a 2 to 5% of your custom audience if you have a ton of budget and you're like, hey, I want to get this off the ground quickly. 2 to 5%. If you want to get this off the ground quickly, you can of course do so. 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. So this is what I call a 2 to 5% lookalike audience. And yeah, that's it. If you guys do not need to be making any more ad sets than the ones shown here. Your ad creative, 5 images or videos, 3 body copy, and 3 headlines. Your lander, a basic survey lander, is what works best in this niche. Your pixel, I don't know, watch one of my other videos. I've showed pixel installation like 100 times. So let's get back here. Now, let's go over TikTok ads for B2B. So TikTok ads for B2B are actually way simpler for mortgage. It's really simple. Some of you have already seen me create TikTok ads before for B2B. If that's the case, you don't necessarily have to watch this part. Skip ahead like a minute. But if you haven't, I'm going to show you how to target for B2B. B2B example. Hit continue. We'll name this one open targeting. TikTok pixel. Yeah, whatever. So again, make sure you install your TikTok pixel. And installing pixel, guys, is really simple. Wherever this, direct this to a calendar. After they schedule on the calendar, they go to a thank you page, and whatever that thank you page is, pixel that as your conversion event. It's very, very simple. Placements, select placement, remove Pangle. Pangle is the devil. You do not want it. Automate creative optimization, leave that off. Demographics, United States. Languages, English. Gender, both. Probably just 25 plus, given the available selection. Household income, all. Interest, we're going to leave this all blank. Targeting expansion, leave that off. Daily budget, I'd probably put this at like 50 or 60. Your median cost is going to be cheaper on here, most likely. So you can afford to make it lower. I think that is all the settings that we need to do. English, United States, select placement. Cool. Open targeting. So we don't need to actually do anything, which is easiest. Video. I will put some example B2B ads on file for you guys in these slides so you can see them. Click learn more below. That's my standard text I use like everywhere. And then lander, you can use the same lander. So let's add this in. And we are done. So you have a good video, you have your lander, and yeah, that's it. Pretty simple. Now, what's important here is you can also do lead forms. If you guys want to do lead forms, that's valid as well. You don't have to run to a lander. You honestly want to test both. Sometimes lead forms are cheaper on TikTok for B2B. So it goes run ads to a lead form directs to a calendar so it can schedule at the end, calendar directs to thank you page. Try that as well. Sometimes lead forms are more profitable for B2B than traditional landing pages. You just have to test it. So let's submit this. Hopefully this lander doesn't get my account shut down because it's not a custom domain. You generally want a custom domain. Okay. I'm going to turn this off. As much as I would like to spend money on some B2B ads for you guys, I'm not going to do that. Okay, open, hit copy. Low intent. Now, the only difference in this ad set is the following things. For low intent targeting, what you're going to do is expand these first 3 categories. Step 1, expand them. Step 2, select every single interest. I get people on calls asking me, does that mean every single interest? Yes, every single interest. Check every one of these boxes in the first 3 categories. I'm not going to sit here and do it for you guys. I'm just going to check the first 3. But every single one of these boxes needs to be checked in these first 3 categories. Then what you're going to do, step 3, is select liked, commented, 15 days. For the second category, then for the third category, select viewed profile. That is what is called low intent targeting. That's it. Expand, select all interest, do these differentiators that I showed you to do. Then we're going to hit next. And we're going to hit submit. And we have one more ad set that we're going to do. Actually, I'm going to show you 2 more. The fourth one's optional. Okay. Open, low intent, duplicate the low intent. Do not duplicate the open. For this one, it'll make your life harder. Name this ad set high intent. Come down here, expand the first 3 categories. And what you're going to do is leave everything the same, except in the second category, reverse what is selected. So select watch till the end, shared 7 days. And in the third category, select followed instead of viewed profile. Then hit next. And hit publish. Submit. Now I'm going to show you guys a 4th optional option. And you can only run the option I'm about to show you with conversion ads. You can't do this with lead forms, at least on most accounts I've seen. So for this 4th option, duplicate your open. Copy. And you're going to name this purchase intent. Scroll down and hit add interest in the first category here. Select purchase intention and then select every single one of these. Scroll the way down, hit next. Hit submit. And again, remember, select every one of those boxes in the purchase intent sub tab there at the top. So now we have our first 4 categories. These 4 targetings represent the way to launch every B2B niche on TikTok. As you get as you get data come through, what you can do is then make lookalike audiences and retarget. So you can make lookalike audiences off of lead form submits, lead form opens, I believe is an option on TikTok, and also all of your landing pages. You can make lookalike audiences off of them, assuming you pixel them correctly. So that is everything for mortgage B2B. That will set you guys up really, really well. There are two other options that you can do to get B2B meetings in mortgage. The first one, here I'll talk about Text Blast really quick. You can do Text Blast. Obviously do it as legally as possible. But you can do Text Blast and get a lot of conversations started with mortgage brokers, because when you scrape a phone number list for mortgage, a lot of the time it's their personal cell phone. So if you do a Text Blast in mortgage, it's extremely effective because you're texting their personal cell phones. Number two, and where I've made a lot of money, is voicemail drops. I'm going to make another masterclass on how to do voicemail drops, and you guys can watch that. It's a little bit beyond the scope of this training. Honestly, there's so much money to be made from running the ads I just showed you. You don't have to do this, but I will make a lesson on this in the future for you guys. So keep an eye out, subscribe. This is how I get you to subscribe. I promise good things and I deliver on them. So subscribe if you want to see the voicemail drop training that has made me a lot of money. Best platform for B2C. So for new home buyer, veteran, and refinance leads, you want to use Facebook or TikTok. But the only thing that's not proven on TikTok ads right now is veteran. It's refinance. Refinance you can only do on Facebook, but to be honest, for you guys, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to recommend you stay away from refinance anyway. You only really want to be doing new home buyer or veteran lead gen for these mortgage brokers. So basically, you get your choice of platform. You can use Facebook. You can use TikTok. I really like TikTok right now. It's cheaper. The leads are just as good, just as high credit. You can do either. If you launch on TikTok, cost is a little bit high, test it on Facebook. If you launch on Facebook, cost is a little bit high, switch to TikTok. One of the best things about this niche is it's so universal, the offer. It's like, you want a new home, we'll help you out. Like, that's always going to work, unless if there's something horrible that happens and there's like nuclear war. But you can advertise this on any platform. This even works on YouTube. I'm not going to recommend you guys use YouTube. I think TikTok is superior for this niche if you're looking for something outside of Facebook, but you can even use YouTube for mortgage. So it's just a universal offer that people love. So here's what your lead cost should be for B2C leads for your mortgage clients. New home buyer, below $10 per lead, unfiltered. Unfiltered means not like prior to filtering for credit score. Refinance should be below 50, probably. Again, guys, refinance varies heavily from area to area, state to state, time of year to time of year. Also, whatever's going on with the economy as well drastically affects refi cost. Veteran, anything below $20. Veteran leads you'll tend to see come in between like $10 and $15 a piece for most areas. So let me show you guys how to set up your Facebook ads. What we're going to do, create a new campaign, leads, name your campaign, mortgage B2C. We're going to name this first ad set 25 to 34. Name the ad whatever. You don't really need to name the ad at all. And mortgage B2C, excellent. This is one of the only times I will ever advise you guys to set a campaign budget. Set a campaign budget. We'll set it at whatever the client is spending, usually that's like $50 per day. 20, anywhere between $20 and $50 per day. We'll just say 50 for example of this. High volume, perfect. Then what we're going to do is select their conversion event. Again, you guys should know how to install the pixel. If you don't, I'll have a video on that. Dynamic creative, leave it off. Location, choose whatever state your client is in. You can also just do people living in this location. Age, 25 to 34. Gender, all. Languages, English only. Manual placements, as always, Facebook and Instagram news feed only. One-day click for the attribution setting. Then what we're going to do, let's go to the ad level. And you guys have to, I know it's kind of confusing on screen with all the B2B stuff still in there. You guys just kind of have to pretend that doesn't exist. I know it's visually confusing. And the ad level is pretty simple. Let me see where the swipe file is. I have a swipe file here for you guys. Let me Control F, mortgage broker ads. These are really good ads. You can just copy. The VA program, this one works really well for veterans, Attention California veterans. FHA, all the FHA ones are first-time home buyer. Mortgage doesn't have to be anything fancy. The real key to mortgage ad copy is just making it sound like a novel program. Like, hey, there's something new in California helping veterans out to get homes. To see if you qualify, click below. I mean, that's like the core of the messaging. But literally just take the ads I have in here, rip them, copy them, use them as your own. It's that simple. I'm not going to go and type out all the ads right now, so we're just going to have to pretend I'm building mortgage ads. So pretend Joel is like a photo of a house right now. Done. Primary text, take from here, add it in, blah, 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 buy a home, headline, blah, 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 buy a home. As far as the landing page, what a surprise, another survey. Everything in mortgage is about surveys. This is a really good example of a mortgage survey. And yeah, like just copy this, like go into your high level account and use this example survey. So let me paste this in for our website URL, paste, and then we'd hit publish, and that's it. You can do, if you want to do multiple ads per ad set, you can duplicate this ad. So if you really want to, you can duplicate this ad and have multiple ads under the ad set and test different images. It's not usually necessary. Mortgage is so easy to get to perform, you don't really have to do much. I'm actually going to delete this B2B ad just so it's less visually confusing for you guys. Mortgage example, mortgage B2C. Yeah. Let me delete this. Okay, mortgage B2C. So you have your ad set. You have one ad under it, maybe 2 or 3, maximum 3. Pull them from the swipe file, and let's duplicate this. And we're going to make it 35 to 44. 35 to 44. 35 to 44. Did I forget to unselect these? What an amateur move on my behalf. I apologize, guys. I will lash myself later in my basement. Facebook feed, Instagram feed. Okay. Sometimes on duplication though, Facebook does wild stuff and it'll add back in settings that you don't want. It's literally all we're doing on these is we're just changing the age ranges. So 45 to 54. And that's it. Now, one note here. Sometimes your ads will get put in the special ad category. When that happens, they'll put you in the real estate special ad category. When that happens, you won't be able to have different age ranges per ad set. Now, what's important about this method, and this is the statewide method, is not necessarily that we're targeting different age ranges, is that there's a difference between the ad sets. So the difference between the ad sets can be anything. It can be, people living in this location versus everyone in this location. One of these ad sets can be open. One of these ad sets can be a lookalike. It doesn't really matter what the difference is as long as there is some targeting difference between the ad sets. So if you get hit with the special ad category, just be aware it's not the end of the world. It just means the difference between your ad sets can't be age ranges. But to start off, this is the best method, unless if you get slapped with special ad category. Let's go into TikTok B2C. So I'm not even really going to build this out for you guys because it's the exact same thing as B2B with different budgets. So I'd put each of these at like $15 a day. The targeting would be exactly the same, except you'd put it at the statewide level. So instead of United States selected for the targeting, I would go in here and select Ohio or whatever we did on the Facebook ads. The targeting for B2C and B2B on TikTok is exactly the same. You build it out in the same way. The only thing that's going to be different is you're going to have an ad here that is for B2C as opposed to B2B. And I'll put my TikTok ads B2C swipe file in here so you guys can see kind of what type of stuff you have to film. And you would have to replace, obviously, the where you're sending them, right? So you're going to send them to a B2C lander as opposed to a B2B lander. And again, most of your clients, most of your mortgage clients, after they enter their info here, they like them to schedule. So redirect them to a calendar system for your mortgage client because generally they like them to schedule in on their calendar. But guys, the B2C build out and the B2B build out is exactly the same, minus where you're sending them. You're sending them to a different lander and you're using a different ad creative. And I have examples for you guys if you want to see some good ones. Let me see. Facebook ad swipe file. We already went over that. TikTok ad swipe file. Let me show you guys. Here's an example of a mortgage ad.
Are you an Arizona resident?
You can find it in here. This is a perfect example. This same type of ad can be filmed with a selfie stick walking around a neighborhood. It doesn't have to be in front of a big house like this. It works just as well if you just do it walking down the street with a selfie stick. Now, here's a really cool trick. You'll notice this is for new home buyer leads, right? Standard new home buyer language. If you want it to be for veteran leads, you don't have to actually change the video. What you change is the text above the video. So what you'll say on the text above the video is attention USA veterans, and then do like the American flag and American eagle emoji before and after that text. That's all you have to do to call out veterans and make your ads call out towards veterans instead. Same thing with this. You can make it the exact same lander, except your image at the top, just put some American shit, basically. Like just make it very stereotypically American. Put some flags, put some eagles, attention USA veterans. Very easy stuff. You can repurpose all of your content without having to refilm the ad. Now, if you want to refilm an ad and call out veterans in the beginning, like actually on the video, that's fine as well. I'm not going to stop you. It's just not completely necessary. One of the things that clients will sometimes ask you to do is filter on credit. So you can set up filtering and go high level. You can set up filtering on Alchemer. It's really easy to do. Like let's go into sites, builder, reload the page. Actually, I might need to use sites, surveys, builder. Oh, interesting. There are actually surveys in here. It's just not loading. But basically, some clients will ask you to filter on leads. And what you do in those scenarios is you just set up filtering within a Go High Level survey. So let's go to builder. Oh, here we go. And you just need to set up logic within the Go High Level survey to disqualify them. So if they answer a question in a certain way, like let's say they answer like below 620 credit, what you'll do is you select the question, and under the logic field, you hit disqualify after submit, and then disqualify after submit, you want to send them to a different URL. So what you're doing is you're splitting your traffic. So on submit, you want to open URL and send them to a good thank you page. But if they disqualify, use the logic setting like I just showed you and send them to a disqualified thank you page for the bad credit leads. So sometimes your clients will be like, oh, I want above and below 620. Oh, I want above and below 650. So you just have to go into your survey and set up logic in there so that if they answer that they're below 650, it disqualifies them and it sends them to a bad leads thank you page that doesn't fire the pixel. And that's important, guys. You don't want bad leads for your client to fire the pixel. But this can be set up really easily within Go High Level logic. A high level campaign, I included this for you guys. You can find it under automation campaigns. This is a full B2C high level campaign for your clients. All the SMS is in there. All the emails are in there. This is for a new home buyer, but you can easily customize it to veteran. I have new home buyer and refi in here. If you want to make it veteran, just add in a few little bits of language regarding veteran. So guys, that's it. Check out the description below. We have a full free course on how to grow your agency. I'm actually a guest in some of the modules. Me and Joel Kaplan filmed a course on everything you need to know to grow your agency. It goes from sales to offer to B2B acquisition to B2C. So we filmed the craziest course ever. You can find it in the description below. It is free. I'm a guest on several of those modules where it's important to talk about media buying. So click that, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this and you've gotten to this point of the video and you don't think you need to subscribe, I don't know who you are. I don't know how you know all this stuff. You must be like King Solomon of the modern day, just the wisest man alive. So subscribe. I'm going to teach you guys more. I'm going to teach you guys everything. And yeah, see you guys in the next video.